Hi everyone, I'm Roberta. Welcome to my home. It's the week before Thanksgiving, one of my all-time favorite holidays, and I am thrilled to share this show with you. You know, Thanksgiving is a very traditional holiday where you tend to make the same dishes year after year. And for that reason, the full-length show you're about to see was really taped a year ago for a TV Thanksgiving special. But it's got those tried and true recipes that I go back to each and every Thanksgiving, along with a whole table setting scene. And I wanted to share that with all of you. Now, you'll notice as you go through this video that I did give measurements, but for my loyal members out there, you'll still be able to download all the recipes just as usual with the planning notes, timelines, and wine pairings. You know, some things just shouldn't change. That's what tradition's all about. Although I'll let you in on a little secret. There was one good change. I was 25 pounds heavier in last year's episode. Oh well. And you know, I want to give you one very important tip. To be successful in the kitchen, you really need the right kitchen tools. So if this is your first endeavor cooking Thanksgiving and preparing for the holidays, make sure that you have the right pots, the right utensils, and start with the very best product. And let me tell you, Page Hardware and Appliance has a full line of kitchen utensils, pans, bakeware, anything you can think of for the kitchen. So I really recommend that you just take a quick stroll down there, peruse those aisles, and you're going to find everything you need to be successful in the kitchen this holiday season. Thank you so much for joining me, for sharing the last several weeks with me of this great fall season. I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. And when I see you again the week of the 28th, we're going to start looking ahead to Christmas. Remember, anytime you're gathered with friends and family, you've got an elegant occasion. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Hello, I'm Roberta Lombardi, creator of The Elegant Occasion. Welcome to my home. It's fall, my favorite time of the year. I love everything that fall signifies. The leaves changing, the crisp chill in the air, the aromas of cinnamon and nutmeg, and of course making my family's favorite comfort food. But there's another thing that fall signifies. Thanksgiving is the start of the holiday season, and with 3 little ones at my house, the holidays are truly magical for us. Since this show began, viewers have been writing to me, and some of the questions that I hear most often concern Thanksgiving dinner. So today, it's going to be all about Thanksgiving. I'm going to share some of my favorite side dish recipes with you. I'm going to take the mystery out of making the perfect lump-free gravy, and I am going to share my special dessert, chocolate pumpkin cake. It is my family and friends' absolute favorite, and after you make it, it's going to be what your family and friends request year after year. So we have a lot to do. Let's get started. In the bowl of an electric mixer, we're going to start with 1 can of pure pumpkin. Now don't get the pumpkin pie mix that already has other ingredients added. You want plain pumpkin. And then 4 eggs. 2 cups of sugar. 2 cups of flour. 1 cup of canola oil. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to get everything down in the bowl. There we go. And now you want to use a paddle attachment with this and mix it until just combined. So this is so quick and easy, as you can see. Perfect, all incorporated. And then the last ingredient that we want to add is 1 bag of dark chocolate chips. Just give it another quick mix. Perfect. See how simple that was? And I want to tell you, This has become a tradition for my family and friends. As a matter of fact, for Halloween every year, it's when I actually start to make this cake, and I bring it to school for my children and their teachers. And I've actually converted non-pumpkin eaters with this cake. And so now every Thanksgiving, every teacher at my children's school get these pumpkin breads that I make individually and gift wrap for them. And it's just become my tradition. That's how well loved this cake is. I think you're going to be very, very pleased when you make it. So now just pour it into a greased 8-inch round cake pan, or you could do a fluted tube pan, or you could make little mini cupcakes. Whatever way you want to do it, it comes out perfect every time. So I'm just going to put this into a 350-degree oven for about 35 minutes. You want to keep just a little bit of an eye on it. It'll rise nicely. You just want to make sure the center is firm before you take it out. And we've got dessert. When we come back, I'm going to show you how to make a wonderful sweet potato puree. Be right back. So of course, Thanksgiving dinner would not be complete without a sweet potato dish. But instead of a candied sweet potato with a marshmallow topping, I like to do something a little different. I like to do a sweet potato puree. And it's a great dish because you make it ahead. You can certainly make it the day before Thanksgiving. It's actually better because all the flavors meld together. And then you just warm it up the next day. So it's another time saver on the day of your holiday. So I took 6 large sweet potatoes, put them in the oven, skins on at 350, and roasted them for an hour. I then took them out of the oven, let them cool so that I could touch them, peeled off the skins, and put them into this bowl. And now I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 stick of unsalted butter melted, a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, really give it the flavors of fall, and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And all you do is stir it all together until it's combined. And at this point, I would put it right in the refrigerator, covered in this dish. And then on Thanksgiving, I would take it out, warm it up, and transfer it to a beautiful serving bowl. It's delicious. The flavors say fall. It's the perfect dish to entertain with. Great on a buffet. Great for a sit-down dinner. And make it your own. You know, after you bake it, you can top it with maybe some crumbled hazelnuts. You can put a little orange zest into it. Incorporate the flavors that are your favorites and make it your own. Okay, so I'm about ready to transfer this to the refrigerator, and when we come back, we're going to make a delicious cranberry and macadamia nut dressing for our turkey. Be back in a minute. Now we're going to talk about dressing. Everybody has their tried and true favorite that they use year in and year out. For instance, I have a traditional dressing with pork sausage, and that's the dressing that I stuff the turkey with. But then I like to do another dressing on the side that I bake separately. So today I'm going to share with you my recipe for a wonderful dressing using a whole grain pecan cranberry bread. And then we're going to add some wonderful fall flavorings to it, and it's going to make a delicious dressing. So what I've done is toast off in the oven cubes of bread. I just bought the bread in a loaf, chopped it into cubes, toasted it under the broiler. Remember, don't leave your broiler. Keep your eye on it at all times or they will be burnt. So it just takes a second and you get them nice and brown. Now remember, our bread has in it cranberry, pecans, and some lovely oats. Okay, now to that, I am going to add 2 apples that I've chopped. And whenever I'm using apples to cook, I like to use either Gala or Braeburn. They really hold up very nicely to the cooking process. Then I'm going to add some dried cranberries, just a few more, a teaspoon of sage, a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, and then I've got about a 1/4 cup of macadamia nuts. And, they'll also help add some moisture to the dressing. And then I've got my homemade chicken stock. It's warmed. And I have 2 cups here, but I'm going to add it in batches because I don't want to soak the bread cubes so that they become mushy. I like my dressing to be firm and you can still see the shape of the bread. So now on the stove, I've had cooking some delicious shallots and a stick of unsalted butter, as well as 2 stalks of celery that I've chopped up. And I'm going to add that to this mixture, giving it, yet again, more flavor and more moisture to our stuffing. Toss it up. Oh, the smells in here. Just amazing. Totally, totally fall. So exciting. I love this holiday. That looks good. I think I'm just going to add a little bit more broth. There, perfect. Now I just want to add a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to toss it up and then I'm going to taste it. Oh, so delicious. The butter and the sage and the apple makes it sweet. Perfect consistency. Now I'm going to put this in a pretty baking dish, cover it, and put it in the refrigerator. And then on Thanksgiving morning, I will just bake it in the oven with the cover on for about 30 minutes, uncover it for 10 more so that the top gets nice and toasty, and there's my side dressing. It's going to be delicious. Now when I come back, I'm going to show you how to make the perfect velvety, silky turkey gravy. Be right back. It smells so good in here. There is no doubt about it. It is Thanksgiving. So now I'm going to show you how to make a foolproof, lump-free, velvety gravy. So in my saute pan, I have a stick of unsalted butter that I've melted. And to that, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of flour. And I want to whisk the flour and the butter together to kind of cook the flour. You cook the flour taste out. And this is called a roux, and it's going to act as the thickener for our gravy. So you see it starts to turn a little bit of a golden brown. So that means you've cooked the flour out and you're getting all that lovely caramelization. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to add the drippings from my turkey. And you can see that from this turkey, I got about 1 cup of turkey drippings after I've skimmed the grease off the top. So I'm going to pour that in. Give it another whisk. And next is going to come my turkey stock. You can use certainly a box turkey or chicken stock. I prefer to make my own. So I have 2 cups of turkey stock that I simply made by placing the neck of the turkey in a pan of water with celery and carrots and onion and salt and pepper, and I just let it simmer for hours on the stove. And now that will provide another depth of flavor because that came right from the turkey. And you want to make sure that when you're adding your stock to the pan with the flour and the butter, that it's hot. So if you are using a box stock, make sure that you heat it up first. Because where the lumps come in is when you try to add a cold stock to a hot pan that has flour in it. It almost brings the flour back and creates lumps. And you see how beautiful and lump-free my gravy is. It was that simple. And I'm just going to let this cook for about 5 minutes, and it's going to give me a rich, delicious gravy. When we come back, I'm going to show you another very simple and delicious side dish, roasted cauliflower. Be back in a minute. Viewers are always writing in asking me for ideas for a different side dish. Traditionally on Thanksgiving, you think about Brussels sprouts, but everybody does Brussels sprouts. We're gonna change it up and we're gonna use cauliflower. Roasted cauliflower is absolutely delicious and it's so easy to prepare. So on this parchment-lined baking sheet, I've cut up my cauliflower and I've added 4 pieces of pancetta. Pancetta is just an Italian bacon. You can certainly use regular bacon if you wish. And then to it, I'm going to add 2 shallots that I've chopped up, a few pinches of garlic salt. I also have a clove of garlic chopped up in here, a little bit of pepper, and then olive oil. And you do want to coat these fairly well. You don't want them swimming, but you definitely want to get them coated. It's going to help them caramelize. And now, with clean hands, I'm just going to toss it all together. How easy is that? And this is so delicious. And you know what? The cauliflower is actually wonderful with a little bit of turkey gravy poured on top. So you pop this into your oven at 375 degrees and you let it roast for between 25 to 35 minutes. And you'll know when it's done because they're going to be beautifully golden and caramelized. And there you have a little different twist on a vegetable side dish for Thanksgiving. Okay, when I come back, it's all about the turkey, the star of our Thanksgiving feast. Be back in a minute. Here's today's elegant occasion notes. In addition to using an 8-inch round cake pan, you can also use a fluted pan, cupcake tins, or mini loaf pan for the chocolate pumpkin cake. This makes a great gift for teachers, family, and friends. Prepare the sweet potatoes 24 hours in advance. On Thanksgiving, warm them in the oven slowly at a temperature of 300 degrees for 45 minutes. When cooking with apples, I like to use Gala or Brayburn as they remain firm during the cooking process. When toasting your bread cubes, make sure to keep an eye on them. The process goes quickly and you don't want them to burn. Add your turkey or chicken stock slowly to ensure you add just the right amount. When making gravy, always be sure your stock is hot when you add it to the butter and flour mixture. This will ensure a smooth and lump-free gravy. Be generous when pouring the olive oil over the cauliflower to ensure that each piece is evenly coated. The moment has come. We're going to talk about the turkey, the star of our Thanksgiving meal. So many viewers have written to me and asked me how to get a perfectly moist turkey. And all I can tell you is I've done the same thing year after year and got a juicy turkey. I simply put a mixture of butter, garlic salt, paprika, parsley, and black pepper all over the skin of my turkey before I bake it. Pop it in the oven, baste it as we go through the baking process, and every year my turkey is moist, juicy, and perfectly golden brown. I can't wait to call my family to the table and dig in. But first, I want to call your attention to this beautiful table. I want you to pay special attention to this gorgeous cornucopia. Isn't it just beautiful? And it's a conversation piece. I know that when my family and friends sit down to this table, that's going to be the first thing they talk about. I got this beautiful basket at the craft store, and we filled it with fruits and vegetables of the season, the eggplants and the apples and garlic. And it's just gorgeous, and it totally says Thanksgiving, and it's unique and celebratory, and I just absolutely love it. Now, you know that I am very, very much about making special memories for my family and the people I love, and most especially my 3 little girls. So I want to tell you about a tradition that I've shared with my kids. Every year on Thanksgiving, to kick off the holiday season, I give them a wrapped gift when they come to the table. And inside their gift box is a Christmas ornament. And it simply starts the holiday season for us, and it's my way of helping them collect beautiful ornaments for when they get big and they have their own home, and hopefully they can share the memories of each of those ornaments with their own children. And it's just a tradition that I absolutely love and they look forward to every single year. Thank you so much for joining me for this Thanksgiving holiday. I hope I've encouraged you to create beautiful memories from everyday moments for the people that you love in your life. Happy Thanksgiving. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you soon.